What if the key to solving complex problems isn't having more knowledge, but a different approach? This question lies at the heart of innovation. It's not about acquiring more information or honing our traditional problem-solving strategies. Instead, it's about seeing things from a fresh perspective. It's about challenging the status quo and daring to think outside the box. This is where design thinking comes into play. It's not just about creating visually appealing products or systems. It's a methodology, a mindset that encourages us to empathize with users, to understand their needs, and to craft solutions that not only solve their problems, but also delight them. Innovation and design thinking are like two sides of the same coin. They both strive for the same goal, to create something new, something better, something revolutionary. They require us to break free from our conventional thought patterns and embrace a new way of thinking. Innovation isn't about knowing more but thinking differently. But what exactly is design thinking, I hear you ask? Well, it's a non-linear, iterative process that designers use to understand users, challenge assumptions, redefine problems, and create innovative solutions. It's about walking in someone else's shoes to gain insights into their experiences and perspectives, and using that understanding to drive design decisions. Let's break it down into its 5 stages. First, we have the empathize phase. This is where we strive to understand the people we are designing for. It's about setting aside our own preconceptions and immersing ourselves in their world. We observe, engage, and empathize with the people we're designing for to understand their experiences and motivations. Next, we move on to the define phase. Here, we gather all the information we've collected and start to make sense of it. We identify patterns and insights and use those to define the problem we are trying to solve. It's about framing the right problem to solve. Then comes the ideate phase. This is where we start to generate a range of wild and creative ideas to address the problem we've defined. We brainstorm, we explore, we push the boundaries of what's possible. Following ideation, we prototype. This is where we start to bring our ideas to life. We build tangible representations of our concepts so that they can be experienced, tested, and improved. Finally, we test. This is where we put our prototypes in front of users and gather feedback. It's an opportunity to learn, iterate, and refine our solution. Design thinking is user-centric at its core. It's not just about creating something beautiful or functional. It's about creating something that meets the needs, desires, and realities of the people using it. But remember, design thinking isn't a one-size-fits-all formula. It's flexible and adaptable. It's a mindset that can be applied to any problem in any industry at any scale. It encourages us to remain open-minded, curious, and collaborative. Design thinking isn't just a process, it's a mindset. It's about embracing ambiguity, taking risks, and learning through failure. And that, my friends, is how we design the future. Consider the success story of Airbnb, a triumph of design thinking. When Airbnb first launched in 2008, it was not an immediate hit. In fact, it was a failing business. The founders, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, were struggling to pay their bills and the platform was barely making $200 a week. But instead of giving up, they turned to design thinking to transform their struggling startup into a billion-dollar business. The first stage of design thinking is empathy. The founders spent time living as Airbnb hosts, putting themselves in their customers' shoes. They observed, asked questions, and listened to understand the needs and experiences of their users. This allowed them to identify a key issue. The quality of the property listings was poor. The second stage is defining the problem. The founders identified that the low-quality images on the site were a barrier to bookings. They needed to make the listings more appealing to potential guests. The third stage, ideation, led to a simple but innovative solution. They decided to hire professional photographers to take pictures of the listings. This was a radical idea at the time, but it demonstrated their commitment to improving the user experience. In the prototyping stage, they tested this idea in New York, one of their biggest markets. They rented a camera and went door to door, photographing as many listings as they could. The results were impressive. The quality of the listings improved dramatically, and bookings in New York skyrocketed. Finally, in the testing phase, they expanded this service to other cities and continuously refined it based on feedback. They found that listings with professional photos were 2.5 times more likely to be booked. This insight led to the launch of a free professional photography service for all Airbnb hosts. But Airbnb's use of design thinking didn't stop there. They continued to iterate, experiment, and learn. They used design thinking to reimagine the travel experience, transforming their platform from a place to book accommodation to a one-stop shop for travel, offering experiences and activities alongside places to stay. They also used design thinking to tackle complex issues like trust and safety. They introduced a range of new features, including verified ID, a host guarantee, and a 24/7 customer support line, all designed to build trust and ensure the safety of their community. And the results speak for themselves. Today, Airbnb is a global phenomenon, with over 7 million listings in more than 200 countries. It has transformed the way we travel, making it more personal, more authentic, and more accessible. Airbnb's success is a testament to the power of design thinking. It shows how a deep understanding of users, a clear definition of the problem, creative problem-solving, rapid prototyping, and continuous testing and learning can drive innovation and transform a business. It's a powerful reminder that design thinking isn't just a process, it's a mindset, one that can lead to extraordinary results. How can these principles of design thinking apply to your own projects? Design thinking, at its core, is a problem-solving approach that emphasizes empathy, iterative learning, and the willingness to fail and try again. Its principles are not confined to designing products or services alone, but can be applied in a multitude of fields to foster innovation. Imagine you're developing a new business strategy. Instead of focusing solely on numbers and profit margins, design thinking urges you to empathize with your customers. What are their needs, pain points, and desires? This human-centered approach allows you to create strategies that resonate with your target audience, leading to deeper customer loyalty and ultimately more substantial growth. In the realm of social innovation, design thinking can be a powerful tool. By empathizing with communities, we can design solutions that address their unique challenges and needs. This could mean creating a new educational program that caters to the specific learning styles of a community, or developing a clean water system that considers the local resources and customs. Even in the field of public policy, design thinking can play a pivotal role. It encourages policymakers to empathize with the citizens they serve, to prototype and test different policy options, and to be open to refining these based on feedback. This approach can lead to policies that are more effective and have greater public support. So, whether you're a product designer, a business strategist, a social innovator, or a policymaker, design thinking offers a set of principles that can guide your process. By focusing on empathy, defining clear problems, ideating creatively, prototyping rapidly, and learning through testing, you can develop solutions that are innovative, effective, and deeply human-centered. Remember, design thinking isn't about having a single eureka moment. It's about cultivating a mindset of continuous learning and improvement. It's about embracing the messiness of creative problem-solving and recognizing that failure is just another stepping stone towards innovation. Design thinking is a versatile tool that can be used in any field to foster innovation. So, what have we learned today? Innovation isn't just a buzzword, it's a mindset. It's about challenging the status quo, not for the sake of being contrarian, but to improve and advance. We've discovered that innovation is not about knowing more, but thinking differently. It's about looking at the same things everyone else is looking at, but interpreting them in a new way. We've delved into the concept of design thinking, a human-centered approach to problem-solving that encourages us to empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. It's a 5-stage process that's designed to be iterative, meaning that it's not a one-and-done deal. Instead, it's a cycle that encourages continuous learning and improvement. And who better to illustrate the power of design thinking than Airbnb? We've explored how this once underdog startup used design thinking to transform the way people travel. By truly understanding their users' needs and desires, they were able to create a unique and compelling value proposition that has since revolutionized the hospitality industry. But design thinking isn't just for startups. We've also seen how its principles can be applied in a variety of contexts. Whether you're a Fortune 500 company seeking to stay ahead of the curve, a government agency looking to improve its services, or a small business trying to differentiate itself in the market, design thinking can help you uncover new opportunities and drive innovation. So there you have it. From understanding the importance of innovation to exploring the stages of design thinking, and from learning about Airbnb's success story to seeing how these principles can be applied in practice, we've covered a lot of ground. But remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to learn, to explore, and to innovate. Remember, the key to innovation is not knowing more, but thinking differently. And design thinking is your tool to do just that.